No one has the phallus. The aim is to put forward a pure essence, defined against what is wholly other than it. Men and women, male and female, masculine and feminine, are to be compartmentalized, sorted into opposed categories, and assigned to separate places. What was sought was a prescriptive enactment of femininity, a statement of and about women, not a replication. Inevitably, the strategy comes apart at the seams. Our culture is amazingly adept at containing and reframing gender norm trespasses. What is left behind the mask of womanliness? The androgyne has been contextualized as a pre-sexual platonic ideal, a romantic trope, or a figure of a privileged language in which sign is transparent to idea, an image representative of purity and universality, and a figure perceived as superior to either sex, which incarnates totality and hence perfection. That no one has the phallus is an expression of its reality as a signifier of lack. If the vision cannot be made up, desires satisfied, then the phallus is not an end, not some final truth, but paradoxically, the supreme signifier of an impossible identity. The androgyne would represent the possession of both the phallus and the antiphallus, the sensuous focus of the desires of men and women alike, fragments to whole, and whole to fragments. On the androgynous body is enacted ambiguity, the diminution of difference, and what is manifested is a softening of the contours between corporeality and metaphor, male and female, straight and gay, real and imagined. In disavowing the difference, both sexes regain their lost half and the power that comes with it. Whilst the androgyne is of blurred sex, he is also of blurred sexuality, and thus an agent of discovery and danger. The androgyne figure sits at the locus of desire. I think we can all agree that I'm hot. The question is, to whom's am I hot? Who are these people that supposedly make up my dating pool? Where are they? Why aren't they dating me yet? I was around 16 or 17, and I just learned this word, non-binary, and that was me. I still had a very binary view of the world. So I did my math, like I do. Okay, so I'm both, and I like both. So that means I'm all four of the things, right? I used to be a mathlete. As few orientation labels as there might be for non-binary people to use without being misgendered, I'm lucky as a bisexual who likes men and women because that is very basic and gender neutral. There are even less words to put to people who are attracted to non-binary people. So, in the spirit of little N-baby me's dream of being hot to all the binaries, I decided to do some field research. And what better field to do research in than unspecified dating app? Most dating apps these days let you pick non-binary as your gender to put on your profile, but they do then still make you pick who you want to be shown with, the men or the women. Pick one! And I'm not going to go into detail about how that kind of very much defies the purpose of letting me tell you that I'm non-binary in the first place, but alas! I found a way to hack the system. They might make you pick, but you can change what you picked at any time. So I set up my profile, intro to my nerd-ass life, some pictures that are definitely no longer reading as straight girl material, and a nice little encouragement to anyone who either already has their stuff figured out or is in the process of doing so. I decided to do 1 week per each combination, looking for sapphic women, dwaric women, Achillean men, and dwaric men. Pretty, I used to always just pick being shown with women because I was like, if you're into that, you're probably into... So I'd end up with a sea of straight boys, which I wasn't too keen on starting with this time, so I put that for last. Did I vlog any of this experience? I sure didn't, so let's skip straight to my findings, shall we? I started with Sapphic Week because I wanted to start with looking for girls to get a break from fake nerd boys trying to impress me by offering to mansplain things to me. I don't really play video games. Like, I tried, believe me, I'm just really bad at them. Maybe I could teach you, I'm sure you're not that bad. Better men than you have tried and failed to teach me, boy. I am unteachable. It's almost like they consider nerdiness as part of the new traditional masculinity, like you're less of a man somehow if you don't excel in it. If nerdship makes you manlier, I am more man than any normie boy in existence. Mask for mask only, honey. Call me when you know what a D20 is and can name an anime more niche than My Hero freaking Academia. Like, straight girls be scary, yeah. But
course of the week I matched with a whole 5 out of the 80 plus girls I liked, but oh well. I figured, you know, maybe it's just because now that I'm on testosterone, I'm not as interesting to the sapphics anymore, or maybe unspecified dating app isn't the best for me, or maybe it's because my profile or my pictures, maybe my pictures aren't that great because I only used ones of me post-T, which hasn't been that long. It's just been since February, so there's not that many pictures, so it's like, I went into Straight Girl Week with the idea that just because there's more of them out there, I might have a better chance. Boy, was I wrong! I actually changed up my pictures and added to my profile, but only ended up with another 5 matches over the week. I tried and failed to date straight women. Does that mean I'm an incel now? Also, I thought straight boys were bland, but my goodness, you like to travel and eat food, and you've seen a movie once? My, what a woman! Let's just say the ladies I like weren't generally that type. I managed to find like all the weebs on there, as I do. Anyway, I started a Cullen week preparing for the West. I'm a little AFAB non-binary. Not even a year on my low dose of tea. And I'm out here trying to appeal to the manly man-loving boys of this world. And I thought I'd be out of place on the side of the pool. I was wrong. Again. It's great. I saw so many gorgeous gender non-conforming people. And I don't mean the timid, like, I have one picture of me in some lipstick just to show you how queer I can be, no matter how normie looking I am usually. Which there were plenty of, and I love and appreciate them. Do not get me wrong. I mean proper, like, all the way in your face androgyny. Like, this is what they comfortably wear in their everyday life. Like, in a way that I didn't expect gay men to be at that point yet. If that makes sense? Like, the stereotype of butch to the point of transmasculine passing suffix is very well known. But I feel like for Achillans, the media still tends to portray them presenting very safely within masculine expression, even if they might add to it with their, like, mannerisms and such. If you're a man, you wear pants and a button up, and that's it. And that's not it. There were also so many, like, trans guys on there, at so many different points of their transition. I saw one that had trans for trans on his profile. And he was actually one of my 11 matches. Oh, talking of which, I actually didn't see any of that, like, discriminatory, like, mask for mask, or, like, no insert perfectly fine and hot ethnicity here. Which kind of surprised me, actually, just because of how much I heard about it. But maybe unspecified dating app isn't as bad on that, and others are worse with that kind of stuff. I don't know, don't have big enough of a sample size to, you know that. I'm honestly just glad that there weren't that kind of shit people on there, I guess. There also weren't any Dwarite couples looking for threesomes like they do over by the sapphics, which, let's have a moment of silence for the other fragile masculinity and the ultimate end of those relationships, because damn. That's enough, we don't actually care that much about the straights and their relationships, do we? Disclaimer, I know polyamorous and polygamous people are a thing. I'm aware of that. They are perfectly valid. I can assure you, these people were not there for pure untainted poly reasons, because if they were, they would be on the other sides of the pool as well, which they weren't. They were only by the suffix. Stop plaguing the poor lesbians. Talking of Dwarric boys. Ah yes, the last week of the experiment. I had scoured the wilds of the dating pool, gone where I'd never dared to before, and finally was returning to my usual hunting grounds, also known as the easiest, because straight boys be desperate. 12 matches, by the way. I didn't really gather any new knowledge this time around other than a newfound sympathy for their desperation after having experienced the straight girl silence firsthand. Straight boys are just happy to get attention in the first place, honestly. Like, you messaged them and they're like, oh my god, it's another human talking to me. Amazing. I once went on a date with a guy and was like, we're gonna split the check, right? And he legit had his absolute mind blown by that. I'm gonna treat you right, boy. I'm gonna treat you right. So what did we learn? Girls are harder to match with regardless of orientation, which sucks for the I would love to date some women part, but is great for the I guess it doesn't matter what I pass as part. Or, you know, I pass as whatever. So, yay, I guess. Other than that, there's less of a difference between genders than there is between straight and queer users, I find. Straight people seem to try and be as inoffensive as possible about things like having opinions or weird hobbies unless they call them out as such. I watched the anime once and I'm like such a widow freak because of that. Oh my god. Can you believe that I'm like one of those people who watches anime? It's like from a different country. I know superhero movies because they're mainstream now and feature hot guys. I'm such a geek. I know what an Iron Man is. In an effort to try and fit into the heteronormed attractiveness and whatever is left of traditional gender roles, I guess, the queers meanwhile tend to be more out there with their actual personality, living their truth, which we stand, and generally come across as more interesting human beings, which I know they're not. Believe me, I know. It's just that they are more, I guess, used to the idea of unapologetically owning who they are. The downside here is that there's less queer people, meaning that unspecified dating app would just start to ignore my location and age settings after a while and show me people from like hours away or that were like outside of the age range I had defined. As for my dating pool as a non-binary person, which is what this video is about, right? Like, that's kind of the whole purpose of this video, isn't it? Most of the people I matched with were using labels like bi or pan or queer. I don't think polysexual identified people are more likely to be into non-binaries, but rather that if you are polysexual, you are more likely to figure out if you're into non-binaries, and that once you have figured out you are into non-binaries, you are less likely to identify as strictly gay or strictly straight, right? If you had to come to terms with being attracted to more than one gender, or generally being outside of the monosexual binary norm, you're more likely to be open to adding to that where applicable. The matches that were using monosexual labels were almost without exception straight identified. My theory on this is that straight identified people have a harder time figuring out, coming to terms with, and or expressing that they might be attracted to a gender other than the one they're expected to, because of how society treats them whenever they venture into what is considered queer territory, right? Be that generic bisexuality for men and women. Bi-curious? Honey, you're probably just bi. You don't have to be curious. You can just, you're allowed here. You can come. Okay, it's fine. I am bi. I invite you. It's okay. Being attracted to non-binary and gender non-conforming people, or even being attracted to trans-binary people, which, like, it might also have something to do with the heterosexual concept of being into people of a gender other than your own, while homosexuality builds on being of the same gender, right? Which might lead to gay identified people being more likely to actually be into only the same gender as themselves, while straight identified people might be more likely to be into multiple genders other than their own. Now I have no way of fact-checking this because I am not a monosexual binary, so let me know in the comments if you are one and have some input on this. I would love to read it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and got some useful information out of my research. Please like and subscribe and follow me on social media down below if you would like to hear and see more of me and my work. I got drawing commissions open over on my Tumblr and Twitter right now, so if you would like me to draw you some memes for money or something, find that info on my Tumblr, also linked down below. If you're watching this in the future, they might be closed, they might be open again, who knows? Go check it out. I hope you have a lovely day. Cheers. Alright. God, even my laugh is breaking. Even my laugh is breaking. Can you believe? What is still intact? Decided I wanted to start with... Why can't I say this sentence? Is it too early for me to be awake? With things like, what was that? No, no, why? Why would you do this? I fed you. You cannot just make noises at me, body. No. Oh. This is just f***ing red from that on. I have become what I hated. This is my range. E-boy Ren to Paramore. This is what I see straight people as. The e-boys with the Joker collage. And the manic pixie dream girls with the I'm so weird. It's e-boys and manic pixie dream girls, and that is literally the two genders.